I'm Jen.
And I'm Mel.
Welcome to Chokeholds Chill.
So today we are sitting down with Brie Marks from Fight Med Collective, and we have been really looking forward to this conversation. She comes from a background in medicine, starting as an EMT back in 2007 and working across a bunch of different environments and settings.
Somewhere along the way, she found her way onto the mats, not just for a hobby, but a way to process her stress, build resilience, and honestly survive some of the weight that comes with that kind of work. Now she's combining those worlds, medicine and combat sports, in a really powerful way. Brie, we're so glad to have you here.
Yay, we are so happy to
Ladies,
chat.
I'm just thrilled to be talking with you all, and I already feel so comfortable. I feel like I've known you guys forever, and we literally just met like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I love that because that's how we want to make people feel. That's the
Yes.
goal. So before we dive into everything, where are we chatting with you from today? Because we are in Oregon on the West Coast.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so I'm in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So we're
Okay.
about like an hour north of Philly, about an hour-ish south of New York City.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh.
I'm originally from upstate New York. So we're
Ah,
over in the Northeast there. And
yes.
we miss the weather.
Mallory misses the weather.
So are you originally from there?
No, I'm actually from a really small town in rural Michigan.
Okay.
So yeah, I graduated with a high school class of like 75.
Wow.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's a tiny little school.
Yes, so teeny little town, and then after college, I went to college near where I grew up. I moved to Washington D.C. So I was in D.C. for about 5 years. That's where I became an EMT, and then I met my husband. He's from where we live now. So then I ended up, back up here. Never thought that would happen, but now it's been a long time, and now I feel like this is actually more home than anywhere else.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice to have.
So you mentioned becoming an EMT, and that was back in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what pulled you into that field in the first place?
So I was living in, it's so different now. I feel like I'm like undercover because I was like a kind of like a punk kid. And I was living in this group house in DC where like we would literally like host punk and hardcore shows like in our living room. There was like 15 roommates. It was kind of a trash hole. Really fun times.
My
But
kids
one of
want
my
to move in.
So one of my roommates was a volunteer EMT at a rescue squad. So we lived in DC, but right off the DC Beltway is Maryland. It's really, really close.
Mhm.
And then in Maryland, fire and EMS are together, and they have a system where there's usually career firefighter and EMS, and then there's volunteer. So there's a very heavily like volunteer structure. And so he was a volunteer EMT there and was kind of like, hey, I think you would enjoy this. Do you want to come check it out? And I went on like, my first ride along, and I was like, ooh, I like this. This is pretty cool. So, thank you, Montgomery County Fire and Rescue. You gave me my
Nice.
start.
Awesome.
Get you out in that.
And so how long were you doing EMT work for when you decided to dive deeper into medicine?
So I had been an EMT, not super long, probably like 8 or 9 months. And then I was like, oh, I think I could make a career out of this, like this being medicine in general.
Mhm.
So my fire captain was a PA. And I was like, oh, okay, like tell me more about that. And my older brother, even though we're from like this like super like rural poor town where most people like don't even graduate high school, my older brother is a surgeon. So I had like some idea of like what medicine, that was possible, that people do that. So I had been working in nonprofits, which was also how I ended up in DC. But my fire captain was a PA, and he was like, hey, do you want to come shadow me? So he was a trauma critical care PA at Baltimore Shock Trauma. And so I went with him and did an overnight shift and saw like all the shock trauma stuff, which is maybe not resonate so much on the West Coast, but it's like the huge trauma center around here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. I was like, I'm gonna go into medicine. This is gonna be my career.
Amazing.
That is awesome because healthcare is a tough place to be.
Especially out there.
Yeah, it is a tough place to be. So obviously you've worked in a lot of different settings. What do the different environments teach you about people and stress?
Mm.
Oh, that's a good question. So I think like every area in medicine and any type of work is going to have its own challenges.
Mhm.
But I've done pre-hospital. I did inpatient. I actually did inpatient psychiatry for a little
Oh,
while. I did
wow.
inpatient neurology, um, which I really loved. I worked in the ICU for many years. First, when I was working with neuro, I worked in like neuro with like the neuro ICU patients, and then during COVID, I worked in trauma critical care
Mhm.
and in rural ICU. Excuse me. So that was like a whole other level of like of
Yeah.
stress, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Oh gosh,
And
yeah.
then I went into surgery, and that's got its own issues because you're always going to run into these like really big personalities.
Mhm.
Right.
So, yeah, but I would say the biggest stressor is not the patients. And it's not even like, the surgeons, even though they can be kind of mean. Not all of them, but some of them can. But it's just like this healthcare system.
Mhm.
It
Right.
really sets us up to fail either as like we're either going to fail as clinicians or we're going to fail like as people outside in our
Right.
life.
Mhm.
So, it's like maybe you're going to be like an amazing clinician at work and you're going to give, 110% to all of your patients all the time and be that person that's always going to like say, give me more call, like, give me the hardest cases or whatever. But
Mhm.
that's absolutely going to affect your personal life.
Mhm.
That's super interesting. I was having a conversation about a date, a woman in healthcare, and she was just struggling so hard to keep up with her own home and her own house. And
Hmm.
it's, would you say that that is the like more of the weight that you're carrying from healthcare is that you can't, some people cannot, you give so much to your patients and so much to work that you can't give to your own life?
Yeah, but even more so than that, it's just that like the way that the system is set up, it's like
Hmm.
you kind of can't ever get ahead
Okay.
because it's like such a profit driven system
Right.
that it's like you can get into a good groove and have, I don't mean to sound super negative or like
No,
discourage people from going
no,
into
no,
healthcare,
no.
but it's like you can get into a good groove and be like, oh, this is great. I feel like I have time to take care of my patients. I feel like the schedule's going well. And then like at least my experiences of working for larger hospital networks, they'll be like, how can we squeeze more out of the
Mhm.
people that are
Yeah.
here?
I feel like
Yep.
you're sound just like
I'm
Mallory.
I'm literally over here like you're speaking to my soul. So
Yeah.
I work in a small critical access hospital, but I'm a lymphedema
Good.
therapist and I do wound care.
Oh,
And it is I'm primarily an occupational therapist, but those are my specialties. So I am just I've
Tapped.
been so burnt out. I actually took a
yeah.
leave a couple of years ago because I was
Too
just
much.
toast. It was too much. I
Yeah.
mean, so like I feel this in my soul.
I feel like they take advantage of like our altruism
Yeah.
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
it's like people like I think that the stereotype for people that don't know is that like doctors or whatever go into medicine so they can make money. It's like no, they don't. It's
Right.
like
Right.
really like 99% of everyone I've ever met, 99.9%, like literally wants to help people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like they really go in with being like, I want to make things better for my patients that I'm
Hmm.
serving. And I think hospital networks and like big pharma, et cetera, like the insurance companies and stuff, they take advantage of that,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and they like will just bleed you dry until
Hmm.
you're like, you know what, I don't even want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting. It really, yeah.
What do you guys think is the and like the beginning of a conversation for an answer to that? Because obviously like we can't just be like, well, we're just gonna see less people or we're just gonna hire more people because we know that doesn't work. It's not realistic. So what do you think that hospitals or clinics can do to sort of, I mean, it's a catch 22, right? There's always more people that need help.
Yeah, actually, I think it's exactly what you said. I think they should hire more people and be like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to cap the number of patients you have. Because my personal opinion is like, so I've been a PA for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, even I, like, that's not that long in like the grand scheme of things, but it's like the rise of middle management where I'm like,
Oh,
why are there like 12 people that are like my managers, like on up the chain, and how much are they making? Because
and why
maybe
are
we
they
could,
there?
yeah, like and so it's like you have all these people that like don't do your job. They're not patient facing, that are telling you how you should be practicing, how you should be, how many patients you should be seeing. You get kind of chastised if you're not seeing enough people, etc. So like, I feel like removing some of that, like, I feel like we're going to have a full circle moment where it's like, you kind of almost go back to that like rural concierge type medicine.
Yeah. Come to my house kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is like hard to do on a large scale, but I'm an idealist.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's what we're speaking, right? In ideal terms, what would happen?
You know what? Ideally, we would have the freedom to do what we went to school and learn to do,
Yes.
and not
That'd be
be
nice.
limited by people who don't know what we do.
Girl,
What they're talking about.
seriously.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's beyond frustrating. I just want to say, I don't know if it's too soon or not, but I just want to say that I love you.
Same. And I'm also like, oh, I should feature you on Fight Med. As you said that, that was my very first thought.
All right. Well, we will talk more about
Leave
that.
with how- so the relationship has begun.
So this kind of is a good little segue into finding jujitsu and combat sports, because post COVID, obviously that was a crazy time for everybody, but especially people in healthcare. So post COVID, you found combat sports. So
Yeah.
what made that happen? What made you walk into a gym for the first time?
So I just told the story, and I have a tendency to kind of wander. So I'm going to do my best to be concise.
Girl, wander away.
So I have 2 young daughters, and our neighbors where we live in Pennsylvania own a bunch of karate schools. So my girls had started karate.
Nice.
And it was something that I kind of always wanted to do. I just thought it was kind of cool. I don't know if you can hear my doggy walking around in here. My daughter let him in here for some reason.
Good. We can't hear him.
But during COVID, they started like right before COVID started, and then they had to stop because everything shut down. So once things were going again, I had worked in the ICU during COVID, and it was here on the East Coast, like COVID hit really hard. Like it was there was a lot of death like every day. It was very stressful. We were very understaffed. It was super isolating, like just bad vibes all over. And I had really gotten super out of shape. I think I was like actually very depressed and I didn't have those words for it at the time. But I was like drinking a ton of alcohol. I had been like prepping to do a half marathon. Actually, my last long run I did was like March 12th, 2020, and the world shut down. So, but it was like, instead of kind of being like, what can I do to like help protect my mental and physical health during this? I was like, can I swear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was basically like, you know what, fuck this. Like everything is hard. So let me just lean into being like, I can't wait to have my dirty martini every day.
Yeah. A lot of us did that.
Oh my
God. And so I ended up like, I gained a ton of weight. I was just like not taking care of myself at all. And one day I just was like, oh my goodness, like this has really gone too far. And also like, I'm giving my whole soul like to my job and like not looking around me and being like, I also have like a husband, these 2 kids, I've got friends, I have my own goals and things I want to do. So that was really kind of the motivation for me to be like, I feel so silly and stupid, like going and starting karate as like a grown up, but like, who cares? Like, who cares? Just go and like be brave and do the thing.
Yeah.
So I started karate in 2021, and like right when the school opened back up, and then kind of the long story short is I realized that just kind of wasn't enough for me. I wasn't getting the thing that I was looking for there, but
Yeah.
I liked the punching and I
Mhm.
liked the kicking. And I was like, okay. So the combat sport part was like grounding for me. I'm super glad I found it. I feel like it was like my gateway drug.
Yes.
So then I started doing kickboxing and started doing Muay Thai. And through that, it was actually like I got a friend of mine really encouraged me to go to jujitsu.
Mhm.
And
Excellent.
yes, so I was super resistant and did not want to get on the ground. I was like, why in the world would I want to be on the ground if I could kick somebody instead?
Yes.
But at my school at 10th Planet Allentown, we have a free women's class every Saturday morning. We still do. I came from there today.
Amazing.
And I walked through the door and went to my first women's class. And like, I remember it so clearly because Laura Kent, who is, she's just got her black belt, but she's like the head of our women's program. And like some of the blue belts that are now purple belts and, you know, whatever that were there that like really took me under their wing. And I was like, oh, this is it. Like
Yes.
this is everything I was looking for. Like, you know, physically, like the community aspect of it, the like mindfulness of just getting to shut your brain off.
Mhm.
You know, like getting to finally like have some release.
Yes.
I was like, oh, this like checks all the boxes. And like I fell in love and that was that. I kind of never looked back after that.
Oh my gosh. Tell us about that first class. What did that feel like walking in there and like, did you spar? Was it just drilling? Like, how did that go for you?
So it was just drilling. We sometimes play games in women's class, but it's really very much like, you know, it's meant for like brand new beginner, you know,
Yeah. Just
like
to get them in the
it's be
door.
very beginner friendly. So which was good because I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So very first class, I remember like I partnered with one of our women that I, you know, still is my training partner to this day. And, you know, it's at a 10th planet. So there was like all of these weird words.
Oh,
And I was like,
yes.
what? I was like, what in the world are we
And their
talking about? I
warm-ups and
remember
everything.
we didn't do any of the weird warm-ups. We were
Oh,
like, we're shrimping, which was, you know, that was weird
weird
enough for
enough.
me. But it was like, oh, we're gonna zombie to New York. And then we did rubber guard my first day. I
Oh
remember
my
that.
gosh. That's a
But it's
challenge.
like, yeah, Laura has a plan. I just happened to walk into the middle of like a, you know, like
Yes.
they've been doing that for a couple of weeks. So everybody else kind of had an idea. It was just my, you know, that as luck would have it. So I remember like hearing all these words and like just being like, I have no idea what we're talking about. I don't think my leg moves like that. I don't think my arm moves like that.
Yeah.
Um, but it was funny because like I was talking to a woman today. It was such a full circle moment because she is also in medicine and she just started in this women's class and she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm terrible at this. Like I'm probably like the worst person that's ever done this. I mean, she didn't say that, but that was the sentiment. And I was like,
Sure.
she was like, you're so good at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm like, joke's on you. I'm actually, I'm like such a mediocre blue belt. But I was like, but I told her that story and I was like, you think I'm good at it now because I've had hundreds and hundreds of reps
Yes.
of this. But I did not start out that way. So it's like, you know, just going in and like being like, all right, this is gonna be hard and I'm gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah.
And then like just putting the time in. It's been like so incredibly worth it for me.
That's awesome. I have like goosebumps a
Yeah.
little bit right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mostly because like so much of what you just said, like getting into it and everything, it's like I feel like I've never resonated so much with
oh,
anybody that we have had as a
Yeah.
guest before. So
And also
man.
using the word embarrassed. Nobody says that, but really
mhm.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's really embarrassing to climb onto a stranger.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how long were you just going to the women's class before you joined regular classes?
About a month.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Say, what was that like for you, the
Oh my
first class, the
God.
first
The
co-ed
move
class?
in.
Horrifying.
Yeah, okay.
Not because of anything anybody did. Like, let me tell you, I love our community so much. I could spend this whole time talking about how much I love everybody I train with.
Mhm.
It was nothing they did. It was completely in my own head.
Oh, yeah.
Totally
Um,
normal. Yes.
yes, but like So Laura has just really, held my hand so hard for so much of my like early jujitsu journey, which is why I like love to give back to new women. But she was like, "Hey, I'll be there and I'll be your partner." And so I remember walking in and I was just mortified. And I'm like, everybody's gonna like see me do this badly. And
Yeah.
it took a lot. Like I had to really be like, "You're all right, bitch." Like walk through the door.
Yes. Keep going.
Yes, but then like right off the bat, everyone was so welcoming and like what I think people don't realize when they're new is that like a lot of the people in that class like are also white belts, It's like you think you're going in and like everybody's like, a pro MMA fighter. It's like, no, they're
Nobody
just,
knows shit.
Nobody knows anything. Yeah.
right. Right. So I really had to get over that.
And the ones that do aren't watching you.
Yeah, nobody cares what you're doing. So it's just really funny now that I talk about this with Laura a lot about this idea of like women are so quick to feel like they're not like worthy of being in the space.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these men do not do that.
No,
Like,
they don't think twice about it.
No, it took me like I don't remember how long, like probably 8 or 9 months before I asked if I could stay for the advanced class.
Yeah.
And, or it took me like at least like 6, 7 months before I even started rolling because I was like, oh, I'm not good enough to blah, blah, blah. And you have like the trial class guys being like, so I think I could stay for advanced tonight. It's like they don't
I've
care.
never been here before, but I've got this figured out.
Yeah, right.
That's
right.
my favorite.
Okay, quick pause. Can we talk about how Mil Usos has us glowing like we just got promoted?
It's so wild. I used to think like jujitsu skin was just how I was going to live, but all I needed was Mil Usos.
Yeah, so shout out to them for sponsoring our show and for making us beautiful on and off the mats.
Heck yeah, hit that link, you guys. Check them out.
So you've been at it then, so post-COVID, and then joined the regular classes, and now you're blue belt.
Woo!
Yes. I just had my 3-year jujitsu anniversary.
Yay!
I just
congratulations.
Thank you.
Anniversary.
It's like such a like getting that blue belt, like what a milestone, but it can also be like kind of a roadblock for some people.
Yeah.
There's like the blue belt curse, right? Which I'm glad that you're not experiencing.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did. I got my
You're
blue
like,
belt.
nope.
She's like, let me fix you.
Yeah, hold on.
No, I got my blue belt in June or July of 2025, and then I competed just a couple weeks later and ended up herniating a disc in my neck.
No.
Yeah, I really got hurt. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't really consider that might happen. But yeah, I had to get like steroid injections. I was off the mat for like 4 months.
What
but I'm fine now.
happened?
It was, I think, if I can be honest about it, it probably was bothering me before, and I just didn't, put 2 and 2 together.
Sure.
That's what it was. And then in that competition, I was like, this is my first blue belt competition. I'm going to come out. I'm going to be a dog. I don't care what happens. And I got into like a really tight guillotine, and I was like, no, I'm going to fight my way out of it, which I did. And I got my silver medal at Naga. Woohoo!
But in that moment, it's all worth it.
I was very proud of myself for the fight.
Yeah, as you should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That is so fun. But I mean, honestly, like anybody that works in healthcare are the worst patients. So
I would imagine so.
That's just the truth. You would have fought whether you were regardless of if you realized how injured you were or not.
Like, someone fix me.
Oh my! So did you compete as a white belt?
I did.
Nice. Tell us about your first competition.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I'm gonna come on here. Nobody's gonna want to compete. Nobody's gonna want to ever work.
I'm always like, I don't compete.
So my very first competition at white belt, I was like stressed about making weight, which is so dumb. Like it's like if I could go back and talk to her, I would do things a lot differently.
Yeah.
But I was super stressed.
They make you think you have to cut.
Yeah, Yeah, well, and again, that was not from anybody but myself.
Right.
Like, certainly not my teammates being like, "You need to cut," blah blah blah. Like,
Sure,
that was
sure.
all me. I blame no one but myself. But I was very stressed about being like, I have to cut weight and blah blah blah. So I did, and I overshot by like 5 pounds.
Oh
And
no.
then wait, yeah, and then I get there, and my opponent dropped out last minute, so I got bumped up a weight class anyway.
Oh,
So I was like, well, this is kind of what you get. Also, I'm master's age athlete. I'm probably like
Okay.
I don't know, master's 3. I don't keep track of that stuff, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm 43. I just had my 43rd birthday a few days ago.
Okay.
happy
Um,
birthday.
thank
Same
you,
Saturday
thank
at
you. So yeah, so I
42.
I I was probably like 41 or something, and
Nice.
they bumped me down to adult, which was fine, but I was like, I got bumped up a weight class and bumped into adult.
No, they hate
And
you.
so actually, I mean, the matches weren't horrible. Like, I
Right.
mean, considering, like, I look back and watch that footage and I'm like, all right, I could have done better. But like, I lost my first match, and no, wait. I lost my first match, went out and did my second match, and then I had the worst adrenaline dump. I have never
Oh,
experienced anything like that ever in my life before or since. But I had so much support that day. I had all these upper belts that came just to watch me. They weren't even competing. It was
That's
so
well, that's
sweet of
incredible.
them.
awesome.
So, but I'm surrounded by like all these people that I like respect and admire, and I am not a public crier, but like I was a freaking
Oh.
wreck. So I'm like crying. Everybody's watching me. Like my coach Laura was like, "All right, go get your medal." I was like, "I don't even want it." And I was like, "So it's not my fault." She was like, "Get your ass over there and get that medal."
She's like, get your shit together.
Yes. And then,
Slap you.
yeah, once the adrenaline dump passed, I was fine. I was like,
That's good.
oh, okay. I actually am ready to have a burger. Everything's okay.
Yeah. The adrenaline dump sucks though, doesn't it?
Ooh,
Because there's nothing
it's
that you can do to prepare for what it feels like. You could explain it
yeah.
all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so bad. So I have competed many times since then, and that has never happened again. So
Nice.
So, what made you take the step into competing? Did you know like pretty early on that you wanted to give that a try?
yeah, yeah. I knew I wanted to. I've always played sports, and I am a pretty like competitive person in general. So I knew I wanted to compete. We have a pretty competition heavy school.
That's good.
So it was like, it was something that people did. Like there's no pressure to, but like
Mhm.
if
You
you
have
want to,
support.
it's encouraged.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then what I think is interesting is people with high stress careers, and then we
Mm.
decide that, well, let's compete and like put stress on
Stress ourselves
ourselves
more
outside of work too.
physically and emotionally and
But
mentally.
like do you feel like being in a high stress job maybe helps you process stress a little bit differently, like on the mats or outside of work?
I think it's that being stressed on the mat helps me at work.
Ah,
I would agree with that.
okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's like when you have your like central nervous system stressed so much, your fight or flight stressed
Mm-hmm.
so much,
Mm-hmm.
it changes you. Like
Hmm.
it really makes like everything else like not such a big deal, because I think like your nervous system is so used to being in this like, oh man, someone's like trying to harm me,
Yeah.
that you really can't stop and think. So I was doing some wrestling rounds with one of my good friends who's a physical therapist today, actually, but he was a wrestler, and he helped me out today. Thank you, Chris.
Right.
So we were doing some wrestling rounds, but we ended up knocking heads pretty hard, which is why I have a black eye. But it was just interesting to think about, because it was like we hit, and it was we like cracked heads,
Yeah.
and I could tell right away that I was like, oh, that's probably gonna bruise, but it was like it didn't, we didn't stop. It
Right.
wasn't like this is a catastrophe. It was just kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
whatever. And I just thought
Whoops.
about that, how like you just get you're used to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got Jen's knee to my lip the other night.
That's
Got
true.
a
Mm.
little
Yeah.
fat lip.
And then she
So
went and got an extra bonus when she went to the next
when I was like,
round.
no, it's only bleeding a little. I can
It's
roll
fine. She's all your gi. I'm
You
like,
just
I don't care.
Yeah, you just realize like you're like, actually I'm tough and I can handle
They're
this.
like
And
Yeah.
it's like,
unfazed. Yeah.
yeah, you're like, it's not the end of the world. Like I think your tolerance for both like physical pain and also like emotional overwhelm, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
really, it's like a muscle that you continue to flex and get better at.
Yeah.
That's very true. So at this point, I'd like to kind of like, now we're talking mental health, right? Move
Yeah.
into the connection between combat sports and mental
Hmm.
health, especially for healthcare workers, first responders, like we're talking about people in high stress jobs and situations. What have you experienced in terms of training? We're talking a little bit, but elaborate a little bit more on how you handled your stress and trauma through training.
Yeah, I think it's so multifaceted, but one of it is like, I think this has been said by a lot of different people, but when you're on the mat, you have to be present.
Yeah.
So it's like I really feel like it's like an active meditation,
Right.
Yes.
because
Oh, yes.
I'm not good at sitting there and
No,
meditating. I can't do it.
Hmm.
neither can I.
But it's like having this like moving meditation where it's like, for this hour, this is the only thing I'm focusing on, and I
Hmm.
don't
Yes.
have my phone, and I'm not, like, maybe we're joking around a little bit, but for the most part we're not talking. We're
Right.
Hmm.
just like, you just get that time to like completely like shut off the outside world.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I just feel like that's so important. And beyond that, it's just such a healthy way to focus your time and energy. It's
Hmm.
like being on the mat itself, I do feel like is like, for those reasons, one that's like, you're physically moving your body, you're getting like that
Yeah.
somatosensory input, you're getting the mindfulness piece of it, just being quiet for a second.
Hmm.
Um, but it's also that you you just have a life that you're building habits around that are healthy.
Hmm.
Yes.
So you're like, I even though maybe we don't want to cut weight, but it's like, I don't want to gain 15 pounds, because then I'm gonna be,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna right then I'm gonna be in a weight class that I don't want to be in. Or like, I could go out and drink tonight, but we have class in the morning and I probably won't feel good if I do. Like, it
Yeah.
just helps you like create such a structure of like healthy habits.
Better decisions.
You know what it
Yeah.
also helps with, and I'm sure you feel me on this, working in healthcare, around the holiday time,
Mm.
the amount of
Hmm.
patients and coworkers and everybody who's bringing in cookies and freaking
Hmm.
all sorts of stuff. I just have to be like, oh, I'm training. I'm training for
Sorry.
a
Yeah.
competition. I can't have that. And I have like a valid excuse because I have more
Yeah.
self-control.
Yeah, but dirty kitchens, that's a
Right.
self-control right there.
Well, I'm very selective about whose stuff I trust. But
That's a good idea.
yeah,
I'm like, ugh.
very, very selective. But seriously though, it really does like give you some extra mindfulness.
Yeah. I
And
also think like the longer you do it, the more everything about your life
hmm
changes. Not just your like your nervous system changes, but everything else, like how you handle things, how you approach things,
yeah,
your thought process, what triggers you. Maybe the same triggers are
yes.
there, but they're just not as intense as they used to be. Like,
I think that's absolutely true. So
mhm.
like, I have kind of like a type B, type A personality. It depends
Mm,
on what it is. Like, I feel like
mhm.
I'm type B until someone messes up my schedule.
Oh
Oh
my
And then I'm like,
goodness.
gosh.
oh. But so I worked inpatient neuro for several years, and I really loved that job. But one thing that would drive me insane is it would be like, okay, it's it's 4:55. I'm done at 5. I have to leave here and go pick the kids up from daycare or whatever, because they were littler then. And then we'd get a stroke alert at 4:57.
No.
Yeah. And it's like, that's the priority, that's the emergency. You have to go deal with that. And I would
Yeah.
want to like scream. Not
Mhm.
because I didn't want to go take care of that patient, but I'm like, this is fucking up my whole afternoon.
Yep.
Oh, I hear that so hard. Not the work part,
Yeah.
but the mess up my day part.
Yes. And it would just like, I would physically just be like so reactive.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And, and now it's like, I'm not in that particular environment anymore, but I do feel like I just handle like, unexpected things like that happening. I can feel that I'm like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
recognize that I don't like that, but I don't have to like tear my hair out about it. It's
right,
going
Right,
to be
right.
okay.
It's like control what you can control and
exactly.
Right.
roll through the rest of it.
Literally roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like, like traffic and stuff like that that
Mhm.
you literally can't control.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh. So we talked like about mindfulness and how it forces you to be present. I feel
Hmm.
like too, like, I mean, obviously we have days where just like life is shitty, like
Mhm.
off the
Yeah.
mats and outside of work and whatever. I feel like also like jujitsu has helped me when I go to work. I'm like, all right, I have to shut off everything else outside of work
Hmm.
and just fucking
Focus.
make it through the day.
Yeah.
You might not want to, but like you got to.
It's really helped me with like my time management
Mhm.
in a
Mhm.
roundabout way because like I also do a lot of cross training like because of jujitsu. Like
Mhm.
because of jujitsu I lift, because of jujitsu
Yeah.
I run. And it's like I have a full-time job, a family, two kids that are in sport,
Mhm.
blah blah blah. Like I'm busy. And I have to be like, okay, if I like mess around and don't get my stuff done, that means I don't have time to do, you
Right.
Yes.
know, the like XYZ thing that I said I was going to do today and is
Mhm.
actually my priority.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like that's the thing I want to do. So it does help me with that to just be like, put the phone down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't have these like unnecessary conversations, like just kind of focus in because I am so much more excited about my life outside of work.
Mhm.
Yes.
I feel you, girl.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Fight Med
Yeah.
Collective. It's Fight Med
Yes.
Collective, yes?
Yep.
Okay, tell us, you're doing all kinds of fun things with this. You're trying to build Instagram, you're doing interviews. Talk a little bit about that. What is it? What made you start it? And let her rip.
So it's Fight Med Collective. Right now it's just an Instagram page where I do features of people that work in healthcare.
Nice.
And the way that it started actually is every time I would run into somebody that was training any type of combat sport that also worked in medicine, or I found out they're like, oh, by the way, like I'm a paramedic. I'm like, that is so cool. Like I love that. And I
Mhm.
would get really excited about it. And
Yeah.
then honestly, one day I was in my kitchen and I was like, there should be a community of people that do healthcare and also train combat sports. And I was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I was like, I wonder if that exists. And I was like, I can't find it. I'm going to make that.
I
And
love it.
I put it out like, how on Instagram you have like your close friends. I like put
Yeah.
it out to my close friends and I was like, guys, what do you think about this? And then I was like, even from my dear friends, I don't need permission
Yes.
for them. I'm like, I should just do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I don't need permission from anybody to do this. I'm just gonna do it myself.
Love
And I
that.
did. And it's been so cool. I've just really, really enjoyed getting to meet people from all over the country and a couple people that are, in other countries. And the purpose of it is kind of twofold. One, it's just like fun. It's just a fun
Mhm.
community page where people can like just kind of get their flowers of
Nice.
being like, hey, by the way, I am a respiratory therapist and I own a gym. Or,
Mhm.
whatever. Like, how cool is that? People can find me and like connect with me and like support what I'm doing. But it's also this idea of trying to normalize
Mhm.
that, like, there's a lot of people that do this. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it helps reach other communities
Mhm.
because you have these people that's like, say, a respiratory therapist or a dentist or whatever, and they get to put that out to their network of
Yeah.
being like, hey, by the way, did you know I train Muay Thai?
Mm.
It's pretty cool. Like maybe you'd want to give it a try. Um, Mostly because like I have gotten so much out of training all combat sports, jujitsu specifically, but like, whatever. Everybody has their own niche. It doesn't have to be
Mhm.
jujitsu. It could be any combat sport. And I just think, for all the reasons that we were just talking about, it's such a powerful tool for, mental health, balance, community,
Mhm.
all the things that we kind of lack when we have a very high stress job.
Yeah.
Right.
So I really want like I've been saying, since I started, I'm like, I want everybody I know to train.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't seem to work when I just say that. So I'm like, maybe I can show them.
Yes, we were like, okay, if we ask you to train, that means we like you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
asking
Yeah.
you to train is a whole
It's like
love
a whole
language.
gift.
It's a love language to jujitsu
Yes,
people.
yes. And if you
Yes.
come
Yeah.
in and you train, then I'm like, oh my gosh, that means they want to be my
Mhm.
friend too. Sorry, guys.
So, I mean, I just like I love the mission behind
I
the
think it's
page and everything.
fantastic.
Yeah. What do you hope people take away when they connect with you and with Fight Med Collective?
I just hope that they take away that that there is community out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want people to be inspired by other people is
Yeah,
really what it is. Like I feel like my part of it is not that much. I'm just the one that's like posting other people's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
sure.
So, but I think it started off kind of like I said a little selfishly because I'm like I think it's really cool. I find
Yeah.
it very like motivating, inspiring to like
Yeah,
hear about these other people like doing this awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just hope that like other people are inspired by the folks that are sharing like their own personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I really like that.
I do too.
So let's talk a little bit. I know you have to go soon because you got wrestling. So
Yeah.
for the women who are listening to this podcast and are thinking about
Yeah.
stepping on the mats, especially if you have a demanding career, a demanding home life, or if you're sitting there solo with your kitty cat, what would you tell
Mhm.
them?
I would just say you have no idea how powerful you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yeah, you have no idea what you are capable of physically.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's like you can be a very high achieving woman. I think that that's easier now than ever.
Yeah.
But it's still not culturally the norm that women are out there being like I'm gonna like kick ass,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like I can do that. I'm going to like find myself the skills to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's so empowering in such a different way.
Mm-hmm.
um so I would say like you have no idea what you can do. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't do a forward roll when I started.
Right. Right.
And it's like I surprise myself like almost weekly with being like,
Yes.
oh my god, I bare boloed. I was
Yeah.
so
Yep.
psyched. Like stuff like that. And also just that you belong there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have to wait until you've had a year of women's class to feel like you can go to fundamentals. Like you don't have to
Exactly.
wait 6 months before you roll.
Mm-hmm.
You have just as much right to be there taking up space as anyone else. You're
Yes.
not slowing people down.
No.
People want to help you. You're like taking away from other people's class by
Mm-hmm.
them needing to be your partner.
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Exactly.
it's like everybody starts as a brand new beginner, so you
Mhm.
don't have to feel bad about that. It's
Yes.
like we want you there.
Oh,
It's so true.
I love
I
this.
know. It's like woo, woo, woo.
This is my
Pump it
like
up for the
this
weekend.
is literally like my favorite.
We're gonna do an open mat after this. So
Oh, yay.
uh, like I mean, I know I said this earlier, but I really feel like I resonate with you like more than any other guest that we've had, and I just really,
Oh.
really loved this conversation. I feel like we could talk forever. But like Jen said, I know you have places to be, so we always like to round out our episodes with some rapid fire
Oh,
questions.
go for it. I'm ready.
All
yeah.
right, okay. We'll start easy. Gi or no gi?
Only no gi. I'm 10th planet girl.
Oh,
I
of
am
course.
so jealous that
Of
you.
course, only no gi. What is your most memorable mat moment?
Oh man.
That's a hard
I
rapid
would
fire. I'm sorry.
That is a hard
No,
rapid
that's
fire.
okay.
Where did that come from?
I have one. I would say my first competition win.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I was because it took me a long time to get there. So I'm not answering in a rapid fire way, but
That's
like
okay.
my
Most people don't.
one of my like favorite coaches was reffing that match,
Oh,
and it was
cool.
really cool to have him raise my hand. That was really
That's
special
really
to
That's
me.
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite submission?
Armbar.
What
Same,
is
same.
what is your least favorite submission to be caught in?
Oh, to be caught in.
Gross.
Oh God, probably like a twister.
Oh,
Oh, that
yeah.
sucks.
Those are horrible.
I
Are you,
hate those.
are you a guard puller or takedown?
Dang, I really want to do a tank down. I'm not a guard puller and I'm not a like super great wrestler, but I do try.
That's
Yes.
that's
I'm
all we can
definitely a
ask for.
top
I want to
player.
do jujitsu with Brie.
Me too.
Come, please. Come to the East Coast Women's No Gi Camp.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yes.
need to get
I
over
would
there.
I know we really do.
You can stay with me.
Oh,
We have
nice.
room.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Brie.
All right,
Look at
we've got a
that.
place. We'll make it happen.
Just like
Yay.
it's next week. I'm just kidding.
No, it's in October. You've got time.
Oh,
Okay, well, you know
well,
what? I am going back
let's
east in
talk about
October.
October. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk later about
we'll
that.
chat.
Yes, please.
What is your favorite patient setting to work in?
Ooh. Dang, that's so hard. All right, I would say I loved my inpatient neuro days. So I would say hospital,
Mm-hmm.
assuming I can leave on time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, there's conditions, so I get that.
Yes.
What is your favorite patient population to work with?
Um, I really have enjoyed working with the Spanish speaking population.
Oh, cool.
So I'm bilingual and it's very rewarding to me to like have
Yeah.
people that are like, they're sort of like struggling to communicate and you're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I speak Spanish." And like just
Yeah,
being like, "Oh, thank God you guys are getting the care that like
Mm-hmm.
you need." So
that's
that's
really
been very
nice.
rewarding for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And using like those translator systems is the worst.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
What is your go-to stress relief outside of the gym?
Do I have one? Let me think.
More
Fair.
gym.
Fair.
Taking the kids
Uh,
to wrestling.
yeah, I'm like, that's bad. I might have to work on that. I
I
don't
don't
think I
have
have one
one.
because it used to be like having a glass of wine, but I really don't even drink anymore. So
Yes.
I'm like going for a walk. That's so
Okay.
lame,
That's
but
No,
pretty
it's
lit.
not lame. Not at all.
We like walks. I'd go for a walk every friggin' day.
Oh, what is your go-to post-competition meal?
ooh, ooh, this one I like. I would say like a cheeseburger,
Mm,
like like a real cheeseburger with like all the
that's me
stuff on
too.
it.
The number of people who say cheeseburger is it's
I
that or a steak.
dude,
Yeah.
I'm always a cheeseburger and a beer. Like
Mm,
that's
Agree.
yep.
That's when I'll
love
have a
frozen
beer.
burgers.
Yep, nice cold dark beer and a
Mm,
big fat cheeseburger. Oh,
hell
I'm
yeah.
hungry now. Like, oh damn.
We're gonna go rainbow party mode here.
All right, if you had a super fight tomorrow, what is your walkout song?
Ooh. Um, you know the song King Kunta? Who is that by?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yes. King Kunta.
That's my like special like
I'm
that's in my
Oh,
headphones before I compete.
yes.
amazing.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm actually really excited to make this real now.
That is perfect.
Yes. I'm gonna play that at the gym today.
All right. Two more questions. First one, if your best friend had to describe you in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Probably friendly, outgoing and intense.
Awesome. And then finally, where can people find you?
Oh, well, so Fight Med Collective is just at Fight Med Collective, just those 3 words together.
Mhm.
Which I would love. If you're only going to follow one, please follow that one.
Nice.
Mhm.
And then for my personal Instagram, that's the best place to find me. I'm actually very active on there, but it's just like my own stuff. So
Mhm.
that's Brie Marks _ PA.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Bree, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. You're doing amazing work out there. And we just really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk with us today.
Yes, and
Yeah,
I
I had
just
so
yeah,
much fun. I'm
I've
like, I
loved
wish we had
this.
another hour.
I know.
We can definitely plan a part
Everybody
2
wants to do part two.
for later this year
Woohoo.
after you have the East Coast women's grappling camp.
Yes.
But
That's not my camp, that's Laura's camp, but it's
well,
so
yeah,
fun.
that
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
You'll be there.
I'll be there. Oh, I'll be
Yes.
there.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. So I thank you again so much. This has been a really wonderful conversation, and I feel seen, and I feel like a lot of
Oh,
people will
Valerie's
feel
like,
seen.
yes, thank you. You
I
understand
love
me.
that. Well, thank you all for the opportunity. I really, really do appreciate it.
Of
Of
course, and
course.
we will definitely connect more soon.
Can't wait.
All right.
Thanks. Have a good
Cheers. Have a
evening.
good one.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram at Chokeholds and Chill Pod, or shoot us a message at chokeholdsandchillpod@gmail.com.